Hi guys, happy Mardi Gras. I'm preparing for a little Mardi Gras get together and I'm going to do a spinach and artichoke dip. Now in New Orleans, everybody does spinach and artichoke soup. They do artichoke balls. In fact, if you go on my food blog, one of the most popular recipes is Miss Mabel's artichoke balls. So you can check those out. They're delicious. But today we are going to do a spinach artichoke dip. Now, I have my Le Creuset, and this is about the right size container. And we're going to go ahead and get this ready. And it's one of those make-ahead things. I'm spraying this with Pam because I'm going to get it all prepped today, and then when I serve it tomorrow, I'm going to reheat it in the oven. So I'm going to start off with 1 stick of butter, and you will take your saucepan. You've got a saucepan here, and let's get that heat on. So you're going to put on low, you're going to go ahead and put that stick of butter in here. Let me tell you what else we're going to put in it. I have 10 ounces of spinach that was frozen. This is the kind I use the HEB, really inexpensive. This is 10 ounces. I thawed it and then drained it by squeezing it. So we got all the liquid out. So we've got that in there. We are going to go ahead and add to this I did about 1/3 of a jalapeno because this is going to be the neighborhood ladies and they're not used to spicy like I am. So we're going to be real careful with this. So we're going to put 1/3 of a jalapeno in there. Then we're going to add into it right now. We've got spinach over here sitting on the side. We're going to add 16 ounces of sour cream. Now this is not for the faint of heart. And so you need to make sure that you tell everybody that this does have a little bit of sour cream in it. So we're going to go ahead and stir that in. We've got the butter now, the jalapeno, and the sour cream. The next thing we're going to go ahead and add is about a teaspoon of chopped fresh garlic. So we put that in there. And like I said, this is going to be pretty easy. We're going to get it to bubbling here in a second. And I have right here cream cheese. I have 8 ounces, and I'm going to cube it up so it'll melt a little bit easier. So I really like to have it relatively cool so it makes it easier to cut for me, but then I cube it up so it will melt easier in the pan. There we go. There we go. Now this dip is going to be served with some toasted rounds or some really toasted ciabatta, and I'm going to show you that in a second. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there and let that heat up. Let me get these toasted ciabattas. I've already done these. I try to do everything ahead of time. So they're little ciabatta slices, and then they're sprayed with olive oil, toasted for about 10 to 12 minutes on 350 degrees. Now, I will go ahead and freshen them up tomorrow by putting them in my little Cuisinart air fryer, and I'll just toast them a little bit more just to make them a tiny bit crunchier. So we're going to go ahead and let this go right in here. Excuse me. All right, it's the jalapeno. I've already drained 1 can of whole artichokes. Artichokes. I'm using the HEB brand, and these are whole. They're not marinated. I've drained them, and I am going to chop them up. Now, sometimes people like to have the pieces a little bit smaller. Some people like them a little bit larger. I'm going to chop them up. One of the recipes that I used before said quartered, but I really want a little tiny bit of artichoke throughout this. So I'm going to do a little bit more chopping than quartering. So we'll start off, we'll quarter there, and we'll go again. There we go. So we'll get this done. Watch your fingers on this. This dip is nice, it's easy, and you know, you can make it ahead, and then it's a favorite of friends because it's just really tasty. You can add a little bit more pepper. You can add some other things if you would like, but I think this is just perfect. I would add a little bit more salt maybe than I'm going to, because I'm not going to add any salt to this today. I have Parmesan cheese, which the Parmesan cheese is definitely salty, so you don't want to have too much salt in it. Or else everybody is going to be drinking too much beer or too much wine, and that's what happens with salty and peppery food. All right, perfect. There you go. And I hear this bubbling over here. So we're going to give it a little bit of stir. And it really already smells good. It's the jalapeno. When I was cutting the jalapeno earlier, it was just like, wow, very nice. And it's melting. That cream cheese is melting. We want to get it to where it's bubbly. So like I said, we will get it to where it's bubbly. Then we will add the artichoke and we will add the spinach. And really, that is about it. We've almost got everything we need. As I said, you may want to kick it up a little bit by adding some extra pepper. I say crushed red pepper would be good. But the ladies that are coming to the house tomorrow really can't probably take the heat like I can, or some of my other friends. All right, let's turn up this heat just a little bit. There we go. There we go, get all that melted. One of my favorite places in the past in New Orleans was Copeland, and they had Copeland's, and it was run by the guy who owned Popeyes, and Al Copeland. And Al Copeland, his restaurant was great. The fettuccine, oh my God, the fettuccine was so wonderful. But his spinach artichoke dip was really superb. And you know what he served it with? He took bow tie pastas, boiled them, then dipped them in a batter and fried those, and you would dip the bow tie pasta into the spinach artichoke dip. Oh my gosh, it was so wonderful. I'll tell you what, when you live in New Orleans, you have to exercise a whole lot and take cholesterol drugs because you wind up eating some bad things. You know, though, everything in moderation. Well, you can't do this type of thing every day. And, you know, you have to have balance in your life, whether it's with exercise, whether it's with food, whatever. You need to have balance in your life. So we're going to go ahead now and add the spinach. So the spinach, I bought it, it's already chopped. If you buy any other type of spinach, you need to make sure you chop it up. You don't want long strings of spinach coming off and hanging in your teeth. So you want it chopped. So there it goes. It's just a little ball of spinach. That's it. That's it. Remember, you must drain it. You've got to get that liquid out of it. So we're going to reiterate the ingredients while we're talking. So 8 ounces of cream cheese, you know that. 1 stick of butter, 16 ounces of sour cream. It's going to be 1.5 cups of Parmesan cheese, the shredded Parmesan cheese right there. You're going to use 1/3 or more, depending on your liking, of fresh jalapeno, the 10 ounces of spinach, and the teaspoon of garlic. And now this is starting to bubble. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. Here we go. It's getting all mixed up in there. Oh yeah, let me show you. There you go. Get all that spinach mixed up. Now we're gonna go ahead and add the artichoke and incorporate that. Boom. Boom. And finish this up. Yes. Let me move this out of the way. Oh man, it already smells good. Now for this little get together that I'm doing, I've already made chicken and sausage gumbo. So that's going to be the main course. We're going to do, if you look on my food blog, there is a brie cheese with pecans and a little Kahlua. That's going to be one of our dishes. Let me turn this down a little bit. It's going to be one of our dishes. Then I made some homemade bread pudding. Now, my mom used to love bread pudding. And so this recipe is a little bit different because it uses pineapple in the recipe instead of using raisins. I am gonna make a whiskey sauce, but I'm also gonna have on the side some whipped cream. So people, if people aren't used to the whiskey sauce, they can have whipped cream on it. So that'll be heated too. So that's already done. I did that yesterday. I put it in a double boiler, and not a double boiler, sorry, a water bath in the oven. And that went for hours. And it came out so good. Let me see if I've got it so you can see it. Nope, it's in the other refrigerator, sorry. All right, time to add the cheese. Well, let me show you first. This is where we are. Okay, we're gonna add this cheese in here. Now remember, you have to grease your pan. If you don't, it's gonna be all kinds of sticky. All right, you get that melted in there. Now these flavors need to meld a little bit. So some people just like serve it out of the pot. No, you need to let it meld. So tomorrow, when I take it out of the refrigerator, I'm gonna cover it with foil. And then I will put it on 350 for about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. And then I will serve it hot. Now we're gonna give this a try and see if it needs anything. That's good. Whoa, that jalapeno has a kick. Nice. Good. I think we're gonna add a tiny bit of salt. Just a little bit. Remember, it's always important to test your food because you don't know. You know, a lot of times I can tell how it's going to taste by the smell. And I learned how to do that years ago. But you cannot really tell if you have enough salt. So it's very important to make sure your food is seasoned properly. The other thing that's important is if you're gonna taste something, you get a new spoon because you don't wanna put your bacteria back in the food. I know some of you do that. And if it's just you and your husband, okay. But if you're serving other people, you certainly do not wanna put your bacteria back in the food. All right, so that's Tina's safety tip for the day. All right, let's see what we got. That's gonna do it. So, we're gonna go ahead and pour it in this casserole dish. There we go. So, if I wanted to garnish it, I could garnish it with a little bit of paprika. Okay. I could also do some lemon slices on the side after it's baked. But this is what it looks like. I'll pull it up, bring it up to you so you can see it. And that's it. So tomorrow, 350, 15 minutes covered, 15 to 20 minutes. And then serve it with these nice toasted crackers or Triscuits or wheat thins or whatever. Anyway, it's good to go. Thanks for stopping in. Happy Mardi Gras. There'll be a couple other Mardi Gras recipes before we finish. So thank you. Take care. Bye.